Alright, hello and welcome to another episode of MC Airsoft. I'm Mark. Today we're going to be discussing belt setup. So this is going to be a time-stamped video. My belt setup is probably going to be changing over the next couple years or however long, so don't take it as gospel, but, take it as maybe some ideas, suggestions, something like that. Also, I just got in my new Desert Tiger Stripe camis, so I wanted to see how they look and all of that. So yeah, why wear a belt? First of all, I guess that's the easy way in. Is you have your chest rig, or you have a plate carrier, or you're not running any of that, especially with the CQB players. I know that's fairly common. So wearing a belt is a great way to get weight off of your shoulders. It's a great way to use up more real estate without adding bulk. So if you're wearing a plate carrier, especially, you have your plate in there, or simulated plate, foam, plastic, whatever it is. And then on top of that, you have your mags. Then maybe it's a double stack mag. Then maybe you have pistol mags, and it starts really adding up. So that's one reason to do it, is because you can keep everything slim and where you need it. Some things are going to be on your person, even though you might not need it. And we'll get to that when we get to the back of what's on my belt. So. But they might be things that are handy to have, right? So the other reason is if you're at so you want to get weight off, you want to slim down your profile, something of that nature, great. So the other real reason that I've seen that people want to run belts, and why I would suggest to run belts, is if you are changing modes, like maybe you're doing a pistol only game, right? So I don't want to carry all this stuff in my chest rig if I don't have my rifle on me, because it really doesn't make sense. And so I can take off the chest rig, I can take off the plate carrier, whatever I'm wearing, and I can just keep the belt on and continue on through, right? The last reason I'm going to give for it is if you're at a mil sim, if you're at a longer op, even just throughout the day, maybe you're tired of wearing your plate carrier, you're tired of wearing your chest rig. Or, maybe it is that mil sim or, camping trip with airsoft guns, and you don't want to be wearing your chest rig, plate carrier, whatever all day. This is a great way of, if I was planning on doing that, I might wear like one M4 mag on my hip, probably on my right side behind my pistol, which makes it super inconvenient, but it's better than not having it. Or I can throw that mag in my pocket, then I have one in my gun, one in my pocket, pistol mag, and enough stuff to get me through, right? Or at least get me back to the gun, and get me back to my rifle, right? So it's the same idea as a get home bag or something like that, where the idea is to get you to your rifle, to get you to your support weapon, sniper rifle, whatever you're using, right? So if you're, at one of the longer games and you get ambushed, you at least have your pistol, you might have your rifle on you, that's great. You might have an extra mag on you, and you can fight to where your plate carrier is or where your pack is, so you can get extra mags, something like that. So that's kind of the methodology behind it. The main reason I wear it to a lot of the woods games or woods ball kind of games, local fields, is mostly because I like the ergonomics of it, and also sometimes you take off your chest plate or chest rig or plate carrier for whatever reason. So starting from the right side, I know things are mirrored in the camera, but I'm left eye dominant, right hand dominant. So I am cross dominant. So for rifles, I'm shooting left-handed. For pistols, I'm shooting right-handed. It's just how I've always done it. So we'll get to the rifle and why I'm wearing my sling in a second. So first thing on my belt is I have a Kydex sheath, right? So one of the issues with Kydex that I see a lot for airsoft is, frankly, they don't make a lot of Kydex for the fancier airsoft guns, the abnormal airsoft guns, right? So this is the one that I've reviewed recently. It's Black Hornet. This won't fit into a Glock holster, at least the ones I have. So I made my own Kydex holster. I have it on a Blackhawk paddle. I'm also wearing a Blackhawk belt. I'm not sure the model of it. Look at Blackhawk belt on Amazon and it's there, right? So I don't know. I've had it for probably a good 10 years at least, probably longer than that. I don't know what model it is. It's somewhere in the $30 range, which is nice. It fits me well, does everything I need to do. It doesn't have MOLLE. It does have Velcro on the inside if you want to put on one of the hook side belts on your pants. That way it holds up. But properly cinched down, I've never had a problem with it. So yeah, again, Kydex holster for the Black Hornet. It's great. If it wasn't, I would have made it differently because I didn't make that. So next thing, moving on to the rear, very compact little dump pouch, right? I don't use it very often. Generally, I'm playing shorter games. Hopefully going to change that in the future, but most of what I play is shorter games, so I'm going through one, maybe 1.5, 2 mags, something like that. It's not often that I've yet to go to my 3rd mag. Again, they're short games, you don't really need to. I'm working mostly on semi-automatic. In fact, only on semi-automatic. So not a whole lot of ammo expenditure there. Most of the time, if I have them, I'm going to just throw it into a cargo pocket, throw it in my hip pocket, wherever I need to. I don't like to re-index. I will re-index during longer games. That is the plan. I'll have a speed loader if I need to. Re-indexing makes sense in that case. But, you know, it's not something I've ever done, not something I'm used to, so I don't really re-index mags. There's a lot of great reasons to do it, and maybe there's some reasons not to. Maybe I'll change my tune in, in the next couple years or whatever. So, yeah, dump pouch. It's mostly for carrying extra things. Let's say my holster breaks because, well, I made it. Or, I find something on the field, like someone dropped their mag, and I can pick that up, throw it in the dump pouch, keep going, and then turn it over to a ref. Or, if it's a small game, I can just, hey, whose mag is this, and throw it at them and tell them to get better mag retention. Or, maybe it's an objective-based game, maybe it's something of that nature. Maybe there's something dangerous on the field, and you want to pick it up and make sure no one trips and falls onto it so you can move it off to a safe direction. Whatever the case is, it's essentially just another cargo pocket to me. But I like it on my hip. I don't like things on my legs as much as possible, because especially if you're going on longer games, or if you're planning on wearing drop leg holsters, something of that nature for days on end. I personally find that super uncomfortable. Having things rubbing on your legs constantly, I find that super uncomfortable. I don't like it, so I'm not going to do it. So moving around one back further, this is a med kit. Even says see if we can get that med on there. That is an actual med kit. It's not some airsoft whatever extra thing. Like I said, I mostly play outdoors, but even if you're playing at a CQB field, you're playing wherever at an indoor field, someone can get injured. It happens. Not necessarily in airsoft, but I've seen people fall on rebar. I've seen people step on screws. I've seen people get injured in all sorts of ways. So having a med kit is something that's handy for that. This is a fairly large one, but it practically weighs nothing. Bandages don't really weigh much. So I figured go for it. If anyone's interested in a video talking more about med kits, I can do something like that. But I'm not going to go over it right now. Moving around, I have a bungee, which is the last thing we'll talk about. I have my spare pistol mag. Now, there's a lot of ways you can orientate pistol mags. Personally, I prefer them to be facing backwards, so that way, let me take the mag out of that one, not drop it onto the concrete. So that way, if you are reloading, this is a Velcro one. There are high-speed options, but personally I go for retention. I don't use my pistol enough to really care, and I play, again, mostly outdoors, where if this flops out of a little pouch, a little high-speed pouch, I am never going to find that again. So, and then I'm out $40 because pistol mags are expensive. The reason being that I run it backwards though is as I'm coming up out, I can hit the magazine release, drop the magazine, or I can rip the magazine, throw it in the pocket, come back. I'm probably going to be throwing it into my left hip pocket because that's right next to the pistol mag pouch, and then I can pick up index on the magazine with my index finger so I can point right to my own hand, because pointing to your own hand is fairly easy, right? So pointing to your own hand, you can set it up real nicely. Now, for anyone coming over from live steel, there's less margin for error because you don't rely on curved bullets to load it for you. You do have these lips which can catch on the side of the pistol. So any little bit of added ability to aim that magazine is going to be helpful. So again, that's just why I run it backwards, is because as you're coming up, it's going to go right into the magazine well. If you turn it the other way, you have to turn your wrist and then insert it. Again, different strokes for different folks, right? That's just how I do it. The next thing is going to be my gloves. These are just Rothco gloves. You can get mechanics gloves. Rothco were just the ones that were in the store and throw them on my belt. The reason I wear them, one, they have leather on the inside, so if something's hot to the touch, I can pick it up. It's not going to be a big deal. It does have some little bit of padding on the outside. Honestly, I don't really care too much about getting shot in the hands. I don't play very close up very often, so. But the main reason I have gloves is if I have to grab something hot, or one of the fields that we have around here, there's plenty of rocks to climb. You can climb up rocks, which might be hot again, or it might have stickers on it, little thorns. It might have vegetation you don't want to touch. Anytime I need to move through brush or do anything of that nature, or maybe I'm going through CQB and it's not a great environment, it's like torn down buildings and stuff, I'm gonna throw those on and wear those. So yeah, last thing, and this is why I am wearing my sling. I do run a 1 point for the most part, and yes, if you drop it straight in the center, it is going to hit you where the sun don't shine, right? But it's not how you transition. That's not how you reload. You're going to go from centered. Again, I'm a left-handed shooter, but you're going to go from centered. You're going to be doing what you need to. If you need to go to your pistol, you can either come over the top or you can just chuck it to the left. Now, if you're wearing it super tight, it might not do that, but that's one of the reasons that I like these bungee ones. I like having it about this tight, there's still extra room, is because as I'm transitioning, if I throw it, it's going to go off to the side, and then if I need to move, if I need to grab an objective, if I need to draw my pistol, if I need to do something like that, I can. So transitioning from shooting to my pistol, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to throw the rifle off to the side and then go for whatever I need to. If I just drop it, it does tend to hit my left leg with how I wear my 1 point, but you know, whatever. So transitioning off, now if I'm doing something for a prolonged period of time, or I'm just walking about, maybe I'm walking into the field, maybe I'm walking around and it's a longer game or a larger game, I can then come over here to my bungee and take this, loop it underneath the mag well. Your rifle and its balance point are going to vary that some, but and then on the same hook that I have my gloves on, I'm going to hook that bungee, and this will allow me to walk around. I can jump, it's no big deal. I can do whatever I need to do, and this is long-term storage for my rifle, right? Generally, it's going to sit well underneath the mag well. You might have to go over the trigger guard depending on your particular setup and its balance point. But yeah, so to get it back out, you just undo the bungee and you can bring it right back out. That's not really a quick draw solution or anything super tactical like that. It is not my idea. I saw it on a video about plate carrier setup from Tactical Rifleman, which has a fantastic channel if you haven't subscribed to them. But like, not my idea at all. But it is a great solution because it does two things for you. One, it retains your weapon for long periods of time, or if you need to get down and grab something, or fiddle with an objective, or maybe the battery dies, the gearbox dies, whatever the case is, and you need to keep it on you because it's expensive, but you need it out of the way. So putting it behind the pistol mag so I can still easily access pistol mag, and then behind my arm, underneath my shoulder, that's generally where I try and put it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much what I got for you. Yeah, if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, put them down in the comments. And I will see you next time. Until then, stay safe and stay hydrated.